Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? KMB the Sexy Ninja in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe. This is the New World Podcast, brother. Yeah. Ooh, what a day. What a night of wrestling. What a weekend of wrestling. Before I talk about Monday Night Raw, May 22nd, 2023 edition, Corey Graves, Kevin Patrick on commentary. We're in Pennsylvania. I got to shout out to Willow Nightingale for winning the first New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Championship, beating Mercedes Moné. This past weekend at the pay-per-view Resurgence. Did I say that right? I hope so. But shout out to her. She deserves the world, man. She is a champ. And beating Mercedes Moné, like, that's a big deal in my eyes. Like, Willow Nightingale, somebody that I want to see go up and move in the ranks of Ring of Honor champion. I want to see her and Athena. I want to see her to be the AEW Women's Champion. And the fact that she is the first New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Champion says a lot. Shout out, much respect, Willow Nightingale. You deserve the world. Now, let's talk about Raw, brother. The go-home show to Night of Champions, the big pay-per-view weekend. Not only is it Night of Champions, we got Double or Nothing, we got Battleground, and we got a bunch of other indie shows coming up on this weekend. There's so much wrestling. It's awesome. Okay? We start this off with Cody. They show an earlier today video of Cody coming in, smiling, that $1 million Cody smile. And out of nowhere, Brock Lesnar goes and destroys Cody, threw him through some kegs, and I was like, oh, shit, because in the day job, I deal with kegs. I know how heavy kegs are. Those sounded empty and hollow, but still, those are things that you do not want to fall upon or have them fall on your face or foot or anything like that. So when he threw Cody, and then not even that, when he hit Cody with the keg on the arm, my arm swelled up because I was like, oh shit, it was devastating. An image that's gonna give me nightmares. I mean, seriously, like, you're just coming in the building, you get attacked, and you get thrown some kegs, and you just get hit with a fucking keg on the arm, man. I was just like, oh man, really building this feud that's going to happen. Cody Brock 2 at Night of Champions, man. And this was the thread throughout the show. You know, this is where we're putting the ball into Cody's side, you know, giving him the ball, and we're telling this story right here about Cody. We cut to the ring. It's Paul Heyman, and he says, I had nothing to do with that. I had nothing, but that's what happens when you mess with Brock Lesnar. And he's talking about the upcoming pay-per-view with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn putting up those undisputed tag team championships against Roman and Solo. And, of course, here comes Kevin Owens and Sami. They kind of interrupt, but by the time they get to the ring, Paul's gone. Even Sami's like, where's Paul? Well, he just disappeared. Now he's talking all the smack, huh? But don't worry. Imperium interrupts. Gunther, you know, they come out and they're ready to fight because we have a big six-man tag team match coming up for the main event. Riddle comes out, of course, to help out Sami and KO. Imperium, and it's just a big brawl, and we start this night off strong. The stuff with Cody, Adam Pearce backstage checking on Cody. You know, Byron's trying to get in there, but no. Cody's like, get the hell out. You know, Cody is hurt, but it's okay. But you know what I mean? Like, he's like, get out of here. He's trying to be tough and strong for us. Yes. We had Apollo backstage interview. He was interrupted by Mommy and Dom there. And it was kind of funny how they interrupted him, too, because he's like, hey, this is my interview. And Rhea's like, no, this is my interview. And she was like, and they told her, like, no, your interview was scheduled after Apollo. But we set up a match between Dom Dom and Apollo Crews later on. Apollo's big night back into Monday Night Raw, graduating from NXT. First match of the night, we have Ricochet versus Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed for the win. I'm really impressed with Bronson Reed. I think Bronson Reed is somebody that's gonna just keep going up in the ranks, and I see a championship in his future, Intercontinental, something big. Ricochet really putting it on for Bronson Reed, and this match was fun. And it's all you can expect, especially from these two individuals here, two talented individuals. And I did enjoy this match to start the show. We had the Seth Rollins promo. They had that last week. They're just kind of continuing it. It happens like 3 times in the show or something like that. But basically, what I liked about this one was he talks about Roman. He's like, it's kind of like a brotherhood. We love each other. We hate each other, this and that. But he doesn't like what Roman has become. The titles has gone to his head, So that was pretty interesting. I really want to see him and AJ and Styles in the ring. At least a tease for Friday Night SmackDown, in the face of each other. So we shall see, because I would love to see the promo work between those two. We had a Raw talk from last week. Shinsuke and Damian kind of got in face-to-face confrontation there. Then Finn help Dom, like, hey, man, it's okay. But this sets up Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura for this week. We had Candice LeRae versus Zoe Starks. Zoe Starks for the win. Nikki Cross is there for some fucking reason, but she's there. This match was okay as well. I just like the fact, I'm like, all right, let's keep building Zoe Starks. I'm kind of pissed that Candice has been kind of put on the shelf, if you will. She's enhancing talent, even though I'm like, Candice deserves more than that. I know when she came in, she was this pixie, whatever, but losing to Zoe Stark, I understand why we're having building Zoe Stark. I understand she just came from NXT, but where's the Candice love? Mustafa Ali interview backstage, and he wasn't that positively Ali or whatever bullshit, whatever that was. He was Mustafa Ali. He's talking from the heart, talking from the soul, but guess what? I felt for this kid, because as much as I don't like Mustafa Ali, this was his moment to be like, this is a big deal. This is Night of Champions. Blah, blah, blah. Here comes Brock. Walks right on through. Turns around and tells him, get a life, kid. Walks out. And I'm just like, what the fuck, Brock? Oh, my God. Dude, you're such a dick. I was like, okay, Ali, I hear you. Oh. And you can tell Ali's face, he's like, oh, fuck this, and he leaves. But Brock comes out, and, he's like, hey, I'm going to issue an open challenge because Cody's not going to fight me because of what I did to him. I broke his arm, but guess who comes out? Cody. Showing us all he's coming out, and he comes out, and he just gets destroyed again. His arm, this reminds me of, like, Brock and Triple H, when Triple H's arm was broken, quotation marks and stuff like that. But he got his ass handed to him. So, Cody's looking strong in the sense of being the underdog to Brock Lesnar. And I'm very interested in what we're going to do at Night of Champions with these two and where the story's going to go. But they called out, Cody was down. The next match of the night, third match on the card, Alpha Academy with Maxine versus the Viking Raiders with Valhalla. And Maxine, have we just abandoned the whole Maximum Male Models thing? Because Maxine seems she's getting along more with Chad Gable. And, as funny as Mansoor was, posted a photo, like Maxine couldn't make it to the shoot, but we photoshopped her in, and it was a picture of a snake. So I'm just like, ooh, drama there, girlfriend, ooh, But Alpha Academy for the win. I'm like, all right. And this whole Maxine thing, I think they called her Liberty something, or gave her, I don't know, something Liberty was thrown into the thing. And I'm like, all right, sure. But, it's kind of not really fair to the Maximum Male Models thing, because they were kind of thrown into this whole thing. And then they're like, here we go. Then it just kind of went nowhere. And yes, was it stupid? Yes, it was stupid. But, and the Viking Raiders, I want to know what the fuck's going on there, just because I brought it up up in previous podcasts, but how many times can you like rebuild them, repackage them, redo videos of Valhalla and all this other shit, and they just lose? They just keep losing. You know, and for me personally, like, I would love to see the tag team titles split again. You know, like, we take the titles and we put SmackDown, Raw, whatever, just because there's too many tag teams now that need some opportunities now to go for the championship. You know, at first I was like, oh man, one tag team champion, but you have so many tag teams and so many talents on both rosters. I think they need to just split the tag team titles back up again, you know, but I don't see that happening in the near future. So we shall see. Byron's backstage trying to talk to Cody. Adam goes back there and Cody's like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. You know. And we have next match, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Finn Balor. Finn Balor for the win, but this was a damn good match. This match right here, this was fun, man. And two people that know each other. And I wonder if Finn talks to Shinsuke in the ring in Japanese. Like, I wonder if he's like calling spots in Shinsuke's language. Because Finn Balor was over in Japan for a very long time, so, you know, he had to learn the language. So, I was just wondering, I mean, that'd be cool if you could hear those sound bites of him talking to Shinsuke, or Shinsuke talking to him, maybe in Japanese or whatever, you know. I don't know why I was thinking that during the match, but I was just like, okay. Raquel's backstage, you know, this is right here in my notes, sorry. Raquel and Liv had to relinquish the women's tag team championships. Next week, we're going to have a fatal four-way. Candice LeRae, Sonya Deville versus Ronda Rousey, and Shayna Baszler versus, oh my gosh, I got this, ladies and gentlemen. I got this. I swear I got this. Okay. And then Bayley and Io Sky then versus Raquel and her mystery partner. And I called it. I called it. Raquel Rodriguez next up then faces Sonya Deville with Chelsea Green. Raquel for the win, but she gets a beat down from Sonya and Chelsea Green. And guess who comes out? And out of nowhere, my wife was just like, I'm sitting there, you know, my cane and all, looking like a disgruntled old man. But I was like, Shotzi's gonna come out. And she's like, what? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking to the TV. And right when I said that, Shotzi, and I threw my notebook across the room, I was like, God damn, it feels good to be right sometimes. She looked at me again, she goes, I don't know about you. I was like, but I was right. I was right. Because usually it's like, I don't know how Shotzi fell into this role, but she fell into this role like Natalya, because like earlier on, I totally skipped over this, but it's going to be Rhea Ripley and Natalya for the SmackDown Women's Championship, because Bianca and Rhea have not swapped titles yet. I don't know. I don't understand that. Are we going to do that Night of Champions, or are they going to like walk across each other in the hallway and be like, sup, then exchange, then walk off from one another, you know? Like, when the last time we did this, you did it immediately the night after. And, you know, like, I just don't understand, because when Rhea's walking around with that title, I'm just like, this makes no sense. And Bianca walking around with the Raw title, I'm like, this makes no sense. They're part of their brand. They're on the brand. Why don't they have the titles for the brand? You know? Little things like that kind of, like, rack my nerves here, folks, you know? And, let's see, Adam's backstage, you know, he's talking to a ref, and the ref's like, hey, man, he's hurt. I don't know what's going on with Cody. Trish Stratus comes up, and she's like, hey, hello, let's do a non-touch thing with each other. Like, me and, like, we don't need the fight, blah, blah, blah. And Adam's like, no. Just no. We had a riddle package inserted into this. I don't know where that was really from. It was just like, okay, riddle. But here, right down to this, man, I got a sound bite from it. And if you listen to the New World podcast frequently, I pick sound bites to close out the show. And I feel like this promo here with Becky and Trish, with this contract signing, and really no real physicality to it, which I was okay with, except for Trish flipping the chair and looked like she got her feelings hurt. And it was like in Friday when Debo knocked that ass out, and then he runs off to his daddy in the car, and they're like, oh, he's going to cry in the car. I feel like this is what happened to Trish. She got her ass handed to her on that mic. Becky was cool as a cucumber, wearing those hand glasses, literally hands. Big time Bex, looking big time Bex-ish. And she just goes on and just starts ripping into Trish. She's like, fine, thank you. You are everything that I know that I do not want to become. The things you have done, Trish, would give me nightmares. And I'm like thinking of Trish's history, different times, whatnot, but to dig that deep. And, you know, I would rather be down and out than woof, you know. And I was thinking about when she had the wolf for Vince McMahon. I was like, oh my God, this is some deep cut, deep shit. But Trish looked pissed. I don't know if this was planned beforehand or if Trish was like, oh yeah, say whatever you want. You know, we're girlfriends. Let's just say whatever you want. Becky said what she wanted to say, and she said, I'm going to whoop your ass and welcome to the big time, bitch. You know, woof, woof. And then that table flipped, and I was like, oh. And Trish walked off. I was like, she's going to go cry in the back. She's going to cry in the back. God damn, Becky. Oh, that was a damn, like, if you want to, like, just see great promo work and this interaction between these two and how cool Becky was sitting there the whole time while Trish is cutting her promo, you know, and saying the same thing, like, oh yeah, you know, you should thank me. You should thank me. I'm the reason why we have a Becky. And I thought the zing for Trish was when she goes, and I didn't have to deal with getting a broken nose. And I was like, oh, but then when Becky got on the mic, I was like, hot damn, Becky. I don't know if that was necessary, but I'll allow it. But great stuff here, man. You should go and check out this entire contract signing. This was some really, really good stuff. Adam Cole's backstage. Not Adam Cole. Adam Pearce backstage. How cool it'd be if Adam Cole's backstage. Adam's backstage, and he's calling someone. He's like, yeah, you know, he's in his locker room. He just won't come out, blah, 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 you know. And I was like, who's he calling? Ooh, who is he calling? And I thought it was going to be one of those moments. Like, this is just me. I like how it ended up. I thought he was calling Brandy. I thought Brandy was going to show up, and I thought this was that Rocky moment. You can't win, Rock. You know, bro, you know, you can't win, Rocky. But you can't win, Cody. You should just, you know, don't let your pride get in your way. I thought it was going to be Brandy, but I like how it played out in a different way, more or less like, hey, you know. But we'll get to that here soon. I was just interested in, like, who's he calling? Ooh. Dominic with Rhea versus Apollo Crews. Dominic for the win. Dominic is ranking up those wins here on Monday Night Raw. And Apollo Crews, once again, lost. And he just got back. That's the thing that drove me crazy. I was like, and he lost to Dom. Okay. Welcome back, Apollo Crews. I don't see a bright future this third time around, you know, but we shall see. Raquel and Shotzi backstage with Byron. They do an interview. They're just like, you have my back. Yeah, you can have my back. You have my back. We tag team partners. We're tag team partners. Let's go win the tag team championships. Yay! And they walk off. All right, now the main event here. Imperium versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Riddle. Of course, Kevin, Sami, and Riddle for the win. Imperium tried their hardest, but this was a damn good match. This was a good main event. There's everything from all the way from Ricochet and Bronson Reed all the way down. I really had a good time with a lot of these matches. And this was just the way to end the night. And it ended sooner than I thought because it's like, we still got some time. But great match, you know, heading into Saudi Arabia. And Kevin Owens and Sami's first time actually wrestling in Saudi Arabia and putting up those tag teams. There's been a lot of controversy with why Sami was never on the show and stuff like that. But he's going to be wrestling in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions, defending those titles against Solo and Roman Reigns. It's a big deal. Cody's backstage, and this is where I feel. Oh wait, before I get into this, the qualifying matches for the Money in the Bank start next week. They start next week. So it's funny. That's going to be in London, if I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm checking with my producer. Yeah, right? Okay. So I'm excited about that. I'm just like, damn, Money in the Bank is already around here. Then SummerSlam is going to be here in Detroit. Right here. Meats and potatoes of the show for me, because of the stitch of the story. Cody's backstage holding his arm. Triple H comes in. He's like, hey, pal. He's like, you don't have to prove, you don't have anything to prove. I understand you want to fight. You don't need to show people how tough you are and this and that. And Cody's like, this is not that, man. You need to understand that. And Triple H is like, hey, you broke your arm. I could tell it's broken. And he's like, you don't have to do this. And Cody switched it on him and said, what would you do, Hunter? And Triple H is like, and I really like this interaction of all right, fight, Cody, fight. Gets up, pats him on the leg, pats him on the back, and I thought he was going to kiss his head. It was going to be a little weird, but I was like, still, I really like this exchange. And thinking of their history all the way to the first All In and Cody breaking the throne. Thinking of that image in my head, then fast forward all the way to now, and if you told me back then when I watched that All In pay-per-view, like, hey, Cody and Triple H are going to have a really touching moment a few years from now, I'd be like, you're an idiot. No way. I know the wrestling business more than you do. But fast forward, freaking cool, man. Really freaking cool with Cody and Triple H. This moment and Triple H giving him yeah, go take on Brock. You got this, because after hearing him and then after Cody saying, what would you do? And Triple H being like, all right, I'm out. For a go-home show, I give the show about a 5 out of 5. I just had a good time from top to bottom. I would say the highlight matches would be, I'm trying to pick here. Alpha Academy versus Viking Raiders was fun just because I like the fact that now we're kind of packaging Maxine with Alpha Academy. Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor was really, really fun. Imperium versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Riddle, Ricochet, and Bronson Reed. So there's a lot of great stuff and a lot of great things going on in between. Zoe Stark's win was really cool. So, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with this whole Nikki Cross thing, with Candice LeRae and whatnot. Nikki Cross is just kind of thrown in there to be thrown in there. She's like, here you go. It's like, and I think I missed my point, but with Natalya, it was one of those things, she's probably sitting down and backstage eating a salad and Hunter or somebody's walking by hey, what are you doing? Nothing. Just eating a salad. Okay. Well, championship match. Night of Champions. You and Rhea? Sure. All right. It walks. Because I was just like, that just got shoehorned in. And, and I feel like that's what happens with Natalya. And now I feel like that's what's happening with Shotzi. Because Shotzi has been kind of shoehorned in certain things. And I don't want her. I don't want that for Shotzi. Did I want that for Natalya? No. But Natalya just seems like that one person you go to, hey, you down? And Natalya's just like, word. All right, let's go. So, but overall, 5 out of 5. Great go-home Raw. I can't wait to see SmackDown. I'm trying to avoid spoilers because this is already pre-taped. They already taped a few things for the SmackDown coming up. I saw a bit of the segment for the KO show, and I was like, the Twitter is dangerous for spoilers. And that's it. That's all. Oh, go watch that Fast X movie. That was some good stuff right there, man. I only plug it because John Cena's in it. And somebody else. No spoilers. So go check out that movie too, man. I had a really good time with that. That's it. That's all. Tell me what you thought of the show. Oh, and go to that official Pro Wrestling Tees store, baby. ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcast. I just got my shirt in today, and it looks fantastic. I was with T Public before, and I ordered myself a New World Podcast shirt from there. And I will tell you that thing fell apart really fast. The lettering got really all jacked up and messed up. It got all flaky and whatnot. However, whatever they print. But I will tell you this. If you get yourself the Pro Wrestling Tees version of the New World Podcast logo created by Penta X, you will not be disappointed. It is centered right. The logo is thick and nice. Almost burped there. But no, it is a damn good shirt. I walked in and my wife looked at it. She goes, whoa, that looks so much better than the one you got from TeePublic. And I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm glad I'm with Pro Wrestling Tees. Go get yourself that merch, man. The New World Podcast logo. I want to see this shirt in crowds. I'm all over watching professional wrestling, all of it. You know, I'm slowly like picking up on Impact and stuff like that, trying to jam this stuff in. We still got Collision coming up, so I'm going to be there 7 days a week, basically, in your ear, bringing you the New World Podcast because I love this sport. Then after that, baby, ooh, I'm tired. I'm tired now. Share with your grandma, share with your grandpa, share with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja, and as always, the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
While you've done things that would give me nightmares. And if you think barking like a dog is embarrassing,